Teaching kids to fish doesn't have to be hard, even if you don't know anything about fishing yourself. There are a few basic steps in this video, and I will show you some simple tips to help you and your kids get started on your fishing journey. Okay, so here are some things that we need to start with before we start Learn to Fish journey. So what you want to get hold of is a good pair of scissors. That's a fishing reel and rod. Set up, just put your basics in there. So some sinkers, some swivels, a few different styles of hooks. And that's probably all you need. You need yourself a rag. I've got myself a little, almost a lunchbox thing here. It's not even an expensive fancy one. You can get expensive fancy ones, or you can use anything just to store a few things in it. So in here, have yourself a good little knife. You'll need one of those. Sunscreen, mosquito repellent, little bits and pieces like that. A couple of plastic bags maybe, or have yourself a bucket for fishing. Then we've got ourselves a little bit of extra line there. So you have the line that's already on your reel, but it pays to get yourself an extra line of about 8 to 10 pounds if you're just learning. It's a little 10 pound or 8 pounds. And that's if you're going to do a setup with a swivel. You have what's called a trace, which is a piece of line that you add to the swivel that's separated from the line that's on your reel. So that's a good starting place, just to grab those basic things. That's a hand line there. First time fishing video, so learning how to put our hooks and sinkers on, and also how to cast and what's the best bait, because we know there's lots of fishing videos out there showing us how to do professional fishing. There's plenty of people and other parents who have kids that would love to go fishing, but they have no idea what to do. So we're going to make it as simple as possible. So we've got two different types of fishing today. One is with a rod and a reel. Now these rods and reels, you can buy very cheap ones from Kmart for like $35, and they're totally fine to use, but they just probably won't last very long. So you want to go to a fishing shop and ask someone at a fishing shop what's a good setup for a learner if you want to get one that's a bit better, that's going to last you a little while. So first of all, we have a rod here that has two separate parts. Some rods are just one part, but this one has two separate parts. So we're going to put that on there. Okay. And then this here is going to go into this slot here, like that. And then we're going to wind that up until it's really tight. So can you just wind that for me, because we've got to hold that on. Hold that with your thumb there, that's it, and wind that on. Okay. Now, this is actually one of my rod setups. So there's two different types of line you can get for your reels. One is called a braid, and that is, it's almost like a cotton. It's very strong, but it also tangles a lot. So I wouldn't recommend the braid for your first ever attempt at setting up a line. What you do want to use is this one here. It's called a mono or a nylon. And it's nice and easy to use. When you're starting, it doesn't matter too much what size that you're going to use. It will just get complicated. 10 pounds, 12 pounds, 8 pounds, it's all okay. You don't want super thick. You don't want 40 pound or 60 pound, because that's like wire. But this is a good place to start. Right, so what we're going to do with this one is we have to thread through. So you need to release some while this is open, and when you've got enough out to thread through to the end of your rod, then you clip this over here, clip that over, okay, and then you go to the end here and you start threading that through those holes. Yeah, pop the carrot. Pop the carrot. That's it. Get down a bit. Yeah.
This reminds me of sewing.
Just like sewing. Oh, now it's run out, so I'm just going to let a little bit more string out. I can clip that, let a little bit more out. Okay. Keep doing that. That's it. And the last one. Okay, now we're going to set this rig up with a sinker, a swivel, and we'll put a long shank hook on it. So that allows you to feel the fish pulling.
Yeah.
Whereas if you have the sinker tied straight onto the string, it's heavier, so you don't feel the fish as well. So thread that through that sinker. I might do some knots later a bit closer up at home. Right, then with the swivel, we're going to thread, I'll show you the first time, we're going to thread it through the swivel.
Yeah.
Now, if you find these knots super complicated, you can always do yourself a whole bunch of granny knots in a row, like 2 or 3 normal knots that you would normally do, and it'll still hold. But here we go. A pinch there, so we've got both pieces of string in our finger.
Yeah.
Go round, round.
So basically
round,
they're kind of the same step.
Round. Yep, same thing that we've just done.
Yeah.
And then we put it through that gap there.
Yeah.
At the top. And then put it through the big loop here. So push it back through that big loop, and sometimes I use my teeth just to hold the end of that and just pull on it. All right, so that video is way too hard to see the knots. So what I'm going to do, this is obviously not fishing line, and this is obviously not a swivel or a hook, but I'm going to show you those knots up closer. So put it through the swivel or the hook. You can do it for both of these. And you're going to pull a little bit through like that, and then hold up there so you've got a little bit of a loop between your fingers. And then this one goes round and around, and you just twist this around the other bit of string there. And then after you've done that with nylon, you can do it more times than that, probably 6 to 8 times or something like that. Then you bring that back through that loop that you had between your fingers, pull it through, and then you're going to put that back through the big loop that's there. And with fishing line, it's a good idea to put that bit that's sticking out, the tag, into your teeth, and then pull the whole line together. And this doesn't, the string doesn't pull together as well as nylon does. But basically it all bunches back on top of itself like that, so that it becomes a very tight knot. Now, like I said, if this knot is too difficult for you to do, there is absolutely no problem whatsoever with doing a very simple, those basic knots that everyone knows how to tie. So your shoelace sort of type knots. So you could just go through your hook or your swivel, and then just go 1 knot like that, another knot like that, another knot like that. And it might not be tidy, but that will definitely hold it on for you. So if you get a fish, he's not going to escape. Okay? And we snip any little tags off, because if you've got little tags sticking out, your lines get all hooked up. Very good. Now what we do is we're going to get a piece of trace, which is another piece of nylon that we're going to put the hook onto. And don't worry if this one's too complicated, the next one I'm going to do is way easier. Yeah. Okay, if this is too complicated for anyone, there's another even easier way. Right, so we get about, not quite a metre, probably 600 mils or whatever. You'll work it out. It's no real right or wrong, it's just a little less work if you've got a piece not too long, but you also don't want a piece too short. Yeah. Okay, so let's see if we can get you to do a similar knot on the other end of the swivel. Through there. pull them through. So then with your fingers just pop, no, with your fingers just hold and pinch the quite with those two bits of line fingers. Okay, then we're going to wrap that around. Just tip it on and you can go, that's it, around. So it does make it a bit more of a trickier one, but that is what well, particularly in Australia here, southeast Queensland, we use this a lot. So that's this rod setup. Now I'm going to show you the super simple setup. That's how we hold it. We just put that through one of the loops or to the side of it.
Yeah.
Tighten it up, and it's ready to go. Now this one is even easier. So this is a hand line. It can be bought from any local tackle shop or fishing shop, and it is just got some nice thick nylon on it. And the way we're going to set this up is that you don't have to put all that extra nylon on, and you don't even have to put a swivel on. So we're just going to get a sinker. Now the best this is set up for the best to go off a jetty and just drop the line straight down, not casting it. There is a way to cast these, but it's a little bit trickier. So what I would do is I would put your sinker on. I'm going to do that. There we go. Alright, and then I am literally going to do a normal knot and another normal knot.
So double knot.
And another normal knot. And that will hold absolutely fine. And you can even use that style of knots on the rig that we've already just done.
Yeah.
Okay? Then, once we've got our little sinker on there, we go up about a metre, and then I'm going to hold on to this and make a big loop like that. And then I'm going to spin around and make one big knot with it, like that.
Yeah.
And once I've done that, we've got ourselves a big loop there. I'm going to do another one of those, just to double knot it and try and get that knot kind of on the same place as the last knot. It pretty much goes on there by itself. Right, now this is a bit I'll show you. Then you push together the ends so it goes nice and small, and we get ourselves a hook. And we push it through the hole,
Yeah.
pull it out like that, and get a bit that's open, and then push your hook through that and pull it through, and that's held on. So I'm going to get you to do that, try that.
So I get
Try and get it, nice and squeezed in at the end.
bit more. Push it.
That's it. And pull it through so you've got a nice big loop.
Yep. About that size.
Yeah, just make sure the loop's not twisted. Yep, that's it.
And do I
Now,
put
the hook through the middle of the loop, hold the hook, and pull it through. And that's,
Oh, that's nice and
that's
easy.
stuck on there. Call that a Paternoster rig. It's a good rig for just dropping straight down out of a boat or off a jetty or off the rocks if you're just sort of dropping down. And it means that your hook doesn't get caught in the rocks down the bottom too.
Yeah.
So that's a nice simple one. So what do you reckon? Should we go give them a try?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm just going to show you those two rigs, but I'm going to draw it to make it easier. So the first one that was attached to the rod is called a swivel rig. So we had the line that came off the rod, then we had ourselves a sinker which we attached onto there, and then below that we have a swivel. I'll just make it look like that, and then you do another one of those knots and tie onto there, and then on the end of here we have our hook. Okay, so that's a swivel rig. And then the easy one that I was trying to explain to you, I might do that round this way, that we had on the hand line. It's called a Paternoster, but it doesn't really matter what it's called. So you've got your line coming down here, and what we did is we tied the sinker to the bottom with just one of those really super simple knots, 2-3 little knots, and then up here, or a metre up, we made that loop that went like that, and then we put the hook through that loop and fed it back through that hole, and that gave us the hook there. So that's when the sinker sits on the bottom and the hook is just swinging around here with the bait, and the fish come up and eat it there. Hope that makes it more clear. Okay, so this is the jetties around our local area that people fish off. What you want to do, the easiest thing if you've never fished off a jetty before, is first of all find yourself some space not too close to other people, and then you want to check which direction the water's going in. You don't have to know the tides because you might not know which direction in the area you're in is the outgoing or the ingoing. But what I do is I get a leaf, chuck it out there, watch it for a little while, and at the moment we've got outgoing tide, so it's going out towards the ocean there. So what I would do if I'm fishing up on this jetty is I would have where that rod is there and fish with the tide so that your line goes that direction. If you try fishing up the far end, your line's going to go underneath the jetty, or it's going to tangle into other people's lines. So just try to be on the edge of the jetty where the tide is going. So bait, best bait for fishing. So it depends on where you're fishing. If you're fishing just off a jetty, you're likely to get brim. If you're fishing around sand, you might get whiting. But if you don't really care what you're getting, you're just happy to get a fish, then pilchards are very good, and that's what we're going to get today. A whole bag of pilchards. Make sure they're nice and fresh. That's quite a big bag. I said there's a smaller bag. They've got a smaller bag. Okay, that's all we'll need today. So those are little fish, and you can cut them up. You can put them on whole if you're going to get a big fish, but you just want to cut those up. Another really good bait for newbies learning how to fish is prawns. Everything loves to eat prawns. Nice and easy to put on the hook. You can use squid. We're doing a video of the local bait shop and what bait to get when you're learning to fish.
Right. No, all good.
Your shop owner, and
Prawns
he'll
or
tell
pillies.
you.
Prawns,
or
pillies.
pillies. Yeah,
Yeah,
definitely. And some worms for the
Yeah.
whiting. Very good. Okay, this is casting a rod. So you wind up so that there's only a little bit of string, like it's almost up to the sinker. And then we put our finger on the line and pull it towards the rod. Then we flick the bail arm over whilst holding the string so it doesn't drop down. And I'll move back, make sure there's nothing behind you, and let go of your finger after you've thrown it. Okay, make sure no one's behind you. And throw and release. Where did that go? Oh, that went miles out.
I'm feeling tugs again.
Oh yeah? Oh good. Just wait till I take a good one.
It's still fighting.
Still tugging?
I think it's stopped biting.
Give it one hard pull back. Just pull back. Yeah. So there's nothing on there.
Yeah.
Okay. Alright.
Wait.
Oh, you're on! Here you go, just slowly, slowly, slowly. That's it. That's the girl. Keep winding. That's it. Walk up to the edge a little bit more. That's it. Keep the line nice and tight. I reckon you might maybe have another flathead. Oh no. Oh, brim. Woohoo! Alright, pull it up.
God, this thing's heavy.
Nice.
I hate big fish.
Okay. Alright. So, to get the fish off, first of all, most of them fish are fine and that one just fell off. But always have a rag with you and then lie the fish down flat. Oh, that wasn't a good example because he didn't watch me. Lie the fish down flat and then hold underneath his belly like that. Squeeze tight. And there you got him. And we'll throw him in the water because he's too little.
I caught a
If
fish.
you get a fish spike, don't panic. Might hurt for a little bit, but just give it a good clean when you get home with soapy water.